I know you're good for me, I think I'm good for you. So let's see what tonight brings. Maybe it's a good thing too. Maybe it's a good thing too. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing.
Hey guys, it's Wengie. Welcome back and hug! So today I have some study hacks for you. This will help you when you go back to school. But hold up, if you guys aren't part of the fam yet here already, I encourage you guys to join. Just click the subscribe button down below and you'll be automatically entered into the current MacBook Air giveaway. And the only other thing you need to do to enter this giveaway is to subscribe to my second channel, which is Reacticorns, and that is linked down below. And also, if you can take 3 seconds to click the like button, that would be amazing. I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you've clicked it. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's go.
Cause hard is still hard to predict, you should admit. Slowly.
Try listening to some music when you study. Specifically, research has shown that Mozart playing during your study improves your memory and concentration. This obviously doesn't apply to all forms of music like heavy metal, but classical or ambient sounds played at low volume do help. Caffeine has been shown to improve your concentration and focus. So try having some coffee next time you're studying and see how you go. Some people can't handle coffee as well as others, so just test it with a small amount first. You can also try other things like tea, chocolate, or energy drinks, as they also contain smaller amounts of caffeine.
And you make me wonder who this town is no fun. Your life has just begun.
When you're studying, make sure to take study breaks. Research has actually shown it's best to study in 30-minute blocks and then take 5-minute breaks in between each block. So you can reward yourself with whatever you like, whether it's a YouTube video or a snack or even a short game. I've personally been playing Best Fiends lately, and it's the perfect game to play during breaks because you can finish each stage in only a few minutes. It's basically a puzzle adventure game where you can collect and build a team of fiends to defeat slugs by matching same colored objects.
Let's run through the night. Let's run through the night. We'll keep on going into the sun. We won't be slowing down all night.
This month, Best Fiends is having their biggest update ever, adding over 150 levels. You can download the game for free, and if you download using my link below, you'll get an extra $5 worth of golds and diamonds to use for free in the game. Who can turn that down? I'm currently on level 262, so see if you can beat me.
Letdowns, all thanks to this old town. One for the shattered plans. Know what I see myself cry.
So you know how teachers never let you chew gum in class? Well, apparently chewing gum may actually improve your memory and help you focus when you study. Research has shown that chewing gum increases the oxygen flow to your brain and therefore improves concentration and alertness. So you still probably won't be allowed during class, but you can try chewing some gum next time you study at home.
One for the resting, for the adjusting.
A great trick to help you remember things is to use a mnemonic. For example, you can use PEMDAS to remember the order of operations. Remember it by saying, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." It actually stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplications, division, addition, and subtraction. You obviously won't have a mnemonic to help you remember everything, but when it's available, definitely try to make use of it because it'll make remembering that particular thing so much easier. And if you're feeling creative, you can make up your own and share it with others in the comment section. If you read your books in silence, you're more likely to read passively. Have you ever read a textbook only to realize that you've completely forgotten what the last page said? Yep, that happens to me a lot. But if you read out loud, you're reading actively. This forces your brain to process what you're reading and also helps you remember it better later. Unicorns are a mythical creature that do not have wings. The ones that have wings are called Pegasus.
The talking, the rumor.
If you're getting bored of reading your textbooks, you can try watching some courses online. There are actually heaps of free video lessons on YouTube that cover a huge range of topics. Channels like Crash Course offer courses on various subjects and also puts them into playlists, so it's easier to browse the topic you need help with. Personally, I can't sit still and read a textbook for hours on end. And I much prefer learning through video lessons because it just feels more interactive.
You really got me stuck, then you walked away.
Try using a recording device to record your lessons. You can probably just use your phone for this. This way, you'll then be able to review the lesson anytime you need to jog your memory. The best thing about this is you can save time by listening to it at double speed. The best time to review the lesson is actually on the same day, as studies have shown that doing this improves your memory of the lesson by 60%.
Do you know what I see? I see myself.
Trying to read a large block of text can get boring and it makes it harder to concentrate and memorize what you're reading. So instead, add some colors and diagrams to your notes. This just helps your brain organize the information better and stops it from going on autopilot. I mean, you don't need to make the diagrams super pretty or anything, just having them there at all is enough.
Say you want me, so don't tell me how to act or how I should.
Sleeping is a study hack? Sign me up! But seriously, you need to get a good night's sleep when you're studying. The brain organizes your memories whilst you're asleep, so if you don't get enough sleep, you'll forget more of what you learnt the previous day. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. Don't need to tell me twice.
Years now, I learned how.
This is gonna sound a bit strange, but try putting on some perfume whenever you study. Then right before you need to take your test, just spray a bit of the same perfume and then go ahead and take your test. The reason this works is because smell is actually a really strong memory trigger for your brain. So by using the same perfume, you'll be able to record what you studied much easier. When you study, it's 10 times more effective to write notes rather than just read your textbook, even if you never look at these notes ever again. The act of writing them alone helps you memorize the information. And no, highlighting and underlining your textbook are not as effective as writing out notes. One of the best ways to help you remember what you're studying is to actually teach it to one of your friends. Doing this forces you to understand the topic much better, and therefore you'll remember more when it comes to exam time. Also, you'll earn brownie points from your friend, which can also come in handy later. Maybe in the form of brownies.
Where you can be adored, you'll get what you deserve.
If you're having trouble with maths problems, you can use your phone to help you. You can actually get apps where you take a picture of a maths problem and the app will not only give you the solution, but will also show you the working out process. That way, you can learn how it's done, so the next time you come across a similar problem, you'll be able to work it out yourself. And guys, when I saw this happen, it literally blew my mind. It's so cool.
You're still my favorite queen of the night, a friend that's right.
Try varying your study location. Studying at the same desk at the same time every day can get pretty boring and uninspiring. Studies have shown that you retain information better when you vary your study location because the new surroundings automatically makes your brain more alert. You can try a park, a quiet cafe, or a local library to mix things up a bit.
All the letdowns, all thanks to this old town. One for
Try testing yourself with some online quizzes. These are great to practice with before your actual exam just to make sure you're on the right track. The best way to find free online quizzes is to type in Google search site:/edu followed by your subject and then exam. For example, if you want to test yourself on biology, you'd write site:/edu biology exam.
You really got me stuck, then you walked away.
Try making a study group. Study groups help you memorize information better because of a few things. Firstly, by talking and asking questions, you're actively memorizing and organizing information. Most likely, you'll also be teaching your friends at some point, which helps. And also they help to keep you accountable to make sure you don't slack off. Just make sure you guys stay on track and don't get too distracted.
One for the letdowns, all thanks to this old town.
There are certain foods that are known to improve your memory, so definitely try increasing your intake of these foods when you're studying for exams. Avocados, blueberries, broccoli, celery, dark chocolate, walnuts, sunflower seeds, peanuts or peanut butter, spinach, and beans.
I will never let it go. No, I will never let it go.
Try going outside for a walk during your study breaks. Again, studies have shown that being outside improves your brain function and memory. So don't lock yourself indoors all day studying thinking you're doing yourself any favors. Get some fresh air and stretch out your legs every now and then.
And we're following the heartbeats. We don't wanna be like that. Wanna see some crazy and also lazy. So you should meet me.
Flashcards are a great way to quiz yourself on topics you've already studied. And instead of actually carrying around a bunch of flashcards, you can just use an app on your phone. There are tons of apps available where you can make your own handy flashcards and test yourself anywhere, anytime. It's super convenient when you're sitting on the bus or train, and you won't accidentally misplace or lose them.
Every time we're together, it doesn't get better. And every day's like a weekend. We're just like, ooh, say you know what I feel. Say I'm sick of all your life.
Lastly, don't compare yourself to other people. You might see these students who seem to be naturally gifted and get high marks without doing much work at all, but don't let that affect how you study. Marks in school don't necessarily mean a lot in the real world, and I can definitely tell you that hard work beats natural talent 9 times out of 10.
Just say you want me. Say you want me.
Did you guys learn something new today? I hope these tips help you study, and of course, don't forget to check out Reacticorns. Let's have a look at what happened during this week. Also, don't forget to follow me on these socials during the week. I'm on my Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and everything. Find me right there, and hashtag Wengie if you guys do any of these hacks. Okay guys, until next week, I'm gonna miss you guys so much, and I'll see you guys then. Bye! Love you!